Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
I can say to my new Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, hey, find a keto-friendly restaurant nearby and text it to Beth and Steve. And it does without me lifting a finger, so I can get in more squats anywhere I can. 1, 2, 3.
Will that be cash or credit?
Credit. 4.
Galaxy S25 Ultra, the AI companion that does the heavy lifting so you can do you. Get yours at Samsung.com. Compatible with select apps. Requires Google Gemini account. Results may vary based on input. Check responses for accuracy.
Welcome to DSC's Campfires with Larry Weissoon, a unique blend of hunting, fishing, wildlife conservation, and the outdoor lifestyle. DSC's Campfires is brought to you by DSC, Conservation, Education, and Hunter Advocacy. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Taurus, award-winning revolvers and pistols. Stealth Vision, high-tech, precision-driven equipment for the modern hunter. Mossberg, American-built, American-strong. Vineyard Max, deer attractants created for the aroma of success, game feeders, and other innovative hunting products. Red 55 Winery, signature wines from the Emmy Award-winning country artist Miranda Lambert, owned by Rick and Beverly Lambert.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of DSC's Campfires. We're here in Reno, Nevada at the Nevada Premier Sportsman Show, and you may occasionally hear some other noises in the background as they prepare for the opening of the day. But one of the great things about coming to this show, as far as I'm concerned, is having the opportunity to meet Mr. Frank Gaither, who happens to be the regional director for California and Northwest Nevada for the Mule Deer Foundation, but also for the newly formed Blacktail Deer Foundation. Frank, welcome to the podcast. I spent some time with you yesterday, and I was so impressed with how your presentation went, just between the two of us visiting, that I couldn't wait to get you on the podcast.
Well, Larry, thank you for having me, and thank you to Nevada Sportsman's Expo. This is the premier Sportsman's Expo coming here to Reno, and we're glad to be a part of it and being able to share our story and journey with the Mule Deer Foundation and the Blacktail Deer Foundation.
I've been a life member of the Mule Deer Foundation now for several years, and I've had several friends who've been involved in different facets of it, including regional directors. And over the years, I've had the opportunity to be at several of the events that y'all have, and I want to get into that a little bit later as well, too. But tell me a little bit about what this new Blacktail Deer Foundation is. I'm truly impressed. I love hunting them. I've hunted them from Alaska down into California. To me, they're the most beautiful of the deer species as far as I'm concerned. And my name's Mr. Whitetail, so saying that, oh my gosh, should me carry a little weight there.
Well, Larry, like you said, you enjoy just being on the landscape and being out in the field and hunting, but I truly appreciate your enthusiasm towards the Blacktail deer and what they have to offer. And like Larry said, we brought the Blacktail Deer Foundation. We founded it in January. Our new CEO, Mr. Greg Sheehan, and team introduced this out to the public. We introduced it at Western Conservation Hunt Expo in Salt Lake City, Utah this year, and we're able to share with people and tell them about our story and what we plan to do, not only in the great state of California, but Oregon, Washington, and you said it, Sitka, Alaska. And man, when people think about Sitka Blacktail, they think Alaska. So yeah, we're super excited about the opportunities that are to come in the lower 48 as well as Sitka.
I know about some of the accomplishments that the Mule Deer Foundation has done, and I've long been involved too with DSC and the DSC Foundation, and we've actually were able to grant some money to various projects that the Mule Deer Foundation has done in the past. Great work. Tell me a little bit about what kind of the objectives and goals are of the Blacktail Deer Foundation. Are they going to be somewhat similar to what you guys have done with the Mule Deer Foundation?
It is, but we are going to be able to concentrate on blacktail deer and their habitat and how we're able to help them grow, mature, and be able to provide them with the landscape to be able to nourish their herds back to where we want them to be.
Right. Now you're from California originally, aren't you?
I
And
am
so
from California.
and so I'm assuming that probably your dad or granddad and you have hunted blacktail deer there. How have things changed just in California, just in itself?
I think we have some challenges in California, but I think with the missions and goals that we have at the Mule Deer Foundation and a lot of other nonprofits that share the same missions and goals as us, we'll be able to achieve that in time. But we have to educate our people. Like I said yesterday when we were speaking, when you were here, is that I'm not an educator. I am.
Wait a minute. I'm going to just totally disagree with you at that point. I would have loved to have had you in front of people who are educators so they could know how to educate people. So now I'll turn it back over to you.
Definitely. Well, in a way I am. But like I said, I share the same passion as a lot of you. I love being out on the landscape and enjoying seeing our deer herds flourish. Yes, they are not back what they were back in the 1950s and 60s, but I truly believe if we make our herd stronger and we let our voice be heard and we go out and we make a difference and we take the money that we raise at our local fundraisers as well as our state and national partners, we'll be able to achieve those things. But it has to come in time.
It does happen. It has to come in time, but the time for all this to get started could not be better than right now. You know, you sometimes wish that it started years ago as well too, but getting started and like you guys are doing, you just pulled up some pages here that have got some numbers on them. I'm going to ask you to talk about that a little bit.
So, Larry, thank you again. I do want to share some brief numbers. A lot of people always ask, where's my money going? What are we doing with it? How is it impacting our deer herds? So this year, we announced our projects that we had completed in 2024. I have the pleasure to announce that we have impacted over 122 deer herds across the western United States. 122. We did 184 habitat projects across the western United States last year for the Mule Deer Foundation.
That's phenomenal.
We impacted over 736,184 acres for a total of 151 miles of fence removal, for a total project expenditure of MDF's cost of $16,912,111, for a total value effort. With your effort, with the people's effort and the Mule Deer Foundation, we were able to put dollars on the ground of $51,193,061. And that was all because of you. Whether you contributed $1, whether you were an annual member or life member, or you just made a donation to your local banquet, we truly appreciate it because we wouldn't be able to do this without you. You are our herd, you are our future, and this is the future, and we do it for the deer.
You're right. You did it for the deer, and I love the habitat work that you guys done, and even the fence removal. People don't understand sometimes what that means. Can you explain just a little of that for somebody that might not understand why you'd want to remove a fence?
Well, a lot of people ask, when you're out hunting and stuff, you see broken down fence or fence that's maybe blocking a corridor of mule deer or black-tailed deer in their habitat. We try to go work with property owners, BLM, state partners to be able to remove that fence so we can limit the risk of maybe a deer, a doe, or a fawn maybe hurting themselves. So retention is very important to us here at the Mule Deer Foundation. I think we lose that is retention. It's not just retention as memberships, it's retention in our deer herd numbers.
Absolutely. Let's go back to what do you see are some of the biggest problems that are facing, particularly the blacktail deer? What projects do you see possibly down the future that people would be wanting to really get behind? Anything specifically that comes to mind?
Reimplantation work, mastication work, so we can clean up the ground so the deer are able to move freely. Because you think about when a deer is out on their landscape, they want the freest, most open way of nature, but they also want their cover too.
Absolutely.
And we have to maintain that. If we don't maintain it, then our forests get out of control. And like I said, that's what we're trying to ensure is the longevity, not only for our deer herds, but for our landscape.
Now, I know about the Mule Deer Foundation's publication, and there have been some changes very recently. And you showed me a copy yesterday. I'm hoping my copy's at the house when I get there, quite frankly. But it has gone unbelievably in a fantastic direction as far as I'm concerned. Tell me a little bit. I know about it. People who can find out more about it, go to the Mule Deer Foundation website, and we'll go to that. But what about the blacktail deer?
So the Blacktail Deer Foundation, so when we founded this, our envision was that the people would love to have that magazine. They'd love to read about it, but they want to read about blacktail deer in their habitat. So we have created a magazine that it will be coming out shortly. It will be an e-file that'll be sent to your email, because we're slowly building it up as we build sponsors, as we build people that want to write about their story and share their vision. We can grow that magazine as the year goes on and as the time goes on, and eventually be able to maybe build it into a hard copy like we do with the MDF magazine. And like you said, we have some really creative new ideas with our MDF magazine. One of the neat things that I seen that the CEO had promoted out was that he had said, when have you seen a Mule Deer Foundation magazine that said Mule Deer Foundation across the top instead of MDF? A lot of people don't know what MDF, and that's what our job is to educate the people what the Mule Deer Foundation it is and what it brings to the table, as well as the Blacktail Deer Foundation.
Absolutely. I'm really excited about what you guys are doing, particularly with the blacktail deer. Like I said, to me, they're the most beautiful of the deer species we have in North America. If somebody wants to get involved, and I'm assuming there's a separate membership, or is it a dual membership?
Yeah, so we do have a dual membership. We have life memberships that are available for obviously Mule Deer Foundation members. We've been around for about 38 years. The Blacktail Deer Foundation also has life memberships and a couple different tiers. You're more than welcome to reach out to myself, Frank Gaither, either via email or my cell phone. You can get my information at muledeer.org. And you can look up, meet the MDF team, find out who your local regional director. It may not be myself, but if I can be assistance to you and getting you in the right direction or to the right person, please reach out. That's what we're here for. We are here for you. We do this for the people.
Let's talk a little bit about your fundraisers. You have a fair amount. I mean, even like in Texas, I can't remember how many chapters there are, but Charlie Stockstill was a dear friend, or is a dear friend. Just don't get to see him very much. But years ago, going back even before him, I'd helped with a lot of the banquets. Tell me a little bit about the banquets, and how does the Blacktail Deer Foundation fold into this, or will there be separate banquets for them?
So I'm glad you asked. So the Blacktail Deer Foundation, they will have their own banquets. So the money that is raised at those banquets will be used towards Blacktail Foundation projects. Or it will be taken to leverage towards grants with state and national partners. So we'll be able to not only impact projects with the Mule Deer Foundation, but we'll be able to impact with the as well as the Blacktail Deer Foundation.
Absolutely fantastic. I'd love to see more and more people, of course, getting involved. And raising dollars is a very important thing. Conservation costs. That's a sad fact, but it is a fact. And I've worked with a lot of different organizations as well too. But I'm really excited about the Blacktail Foundation. To be honest with you, I see great things coming there, because across the West, we have had so many different challenges when you get right down to the mule deer and the mule deer-like species. And now to have this, it will bring that much more awareness, as far as I'm concerned, to the blacktail deer, not just on the western side of it, but across the nation as well, too.
Exactly. Like you said, Larry, I think you hit the nail right on the head. There are active, guys out there that truly love to hunt mule deer, and there's guys out there that truly love to hunt blacktail, and they might not even live in the West, but we have to give them every opportunity to be able to have that opportunity.
Absolutely. Now, you like to hunt too.
I do. I enjoy hunting, and I enjoy it because it's family, and that's why I do what I do. Here, when people ask me why did you become a regional director of the Mule Deer Foundation, why I became a regional director of the Mule Deer Foundation is because we're a family. We are one team, one mission. That is our goal. And I want you to feel, when you leave our banquets, I want you to feel like you're part of our family, because you are. You're part of our herd. Whether you're a life member or you're just an annual member, every dollar counts.
Every dollar does count. Now, if somebody is not a member of either, and I will be a member of the Blacktail Deer Foundation before too very long, in the next few days, hopefully. But how do we get the word out to those folks who may not be members of the Mule Deer Foundation, particularly in terms of the banquets? I know that there are news releases and all those kind of things.
So yes, the great thing is that please visit our website. We do have a Blacktail Deer Foundation webpage. You can go and look at the local banquets in your area, or if you're interested in starting, it gives you the contact of the person you can reach out to, myself,
right,
and we can get something started. like I said, all it takes is just a simple phone call or simple just come up and talk to me here at the booth. We're at booth 726. So if you're here, come out, reach to me. I'll take your name and number down. And even if you're not from my state, I will get your information to the right person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the website. How do people find the website? I want you to repeat it at least twice because we want people to become.
So I definitely, if you're interested in becoming part of the Mule Deer Foundation and kind of the learning about the background of where we all started, right. I want you to go to muledeer.org. Okay.
Muledeer.org.
Muledeer.org is that deal. And then we have the blacktaildeer.org. Blacktaildeer.org.
I love it. I love it. I want to thank you so very much. I'd love to come back here and maybe in about a year or so and visit with you and see where things have gone to at this point, starting where you guys are right now. And again, this is just an absolutely fantastic group. It can be associated with the Mule Deer Foundation and the great work the Mule Deer Foundation has done. Like I said, one of the biggest problems that we have, I think, beyond everything else, is just simply making people aware of all the great work that's being done.
Exactly. Well, Larry, thank you again, and thank you to the Nevada Premier Sportsman's Expo here in Reno, Nevada. We really enjoyed our time, and we look forward to meeting a lot of great people over the weekend. And if you guys have questions or concerns or need questions answered, and I don't have the answer for you, we're going to find it because that's my job. And like I said, we do it for the people, and most importantly, we do it for the deer. Thank you again for allowing us to tell our story.
Absolutely, Frank. Thank you so very much. We look forward to seeing everybody here again next week. But in the meantime, go to those two .org organizations, learn more about the Mule Deer Foundation and also about the Blacktail Deer Foundation. Appreciate y'all being with us. And again, we'll see you right back here next week.
DSC's Campfires has also been brought to you by the Crown Bar in LaGrange, Texas, Texas Wildlife Association, Habit, Our Gear, Your Adventure, Double Nickel Taxidermy, and Burnham Brothers Game Calls.